Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Okay, I'm going to be continuing on. I decided to work on the hat and get that color in there. So I'm going to be using two airbrushes. This is my Awada HP High Performance Plus. It's really a great airbrush. I have my dark color in here for the brim, the very edge of the brim of the hat. And so I'm going to get busy. I already pulled out the frisket, the piece of frisket. And I'm just going to, I'll talk about mixtures as I go. Test it on the side here. Okay, so what I'm doing, this is protected, the face is protected. And I'm just going to lay in what looks like a very saturated means very bright, chromatic, the chroma is bright. You have to think of the values when you're when you're painting. You have to think of darks and lights. So what happens with the transparents, I maybe a drop of white in here or something like that. They're going to get, I don't want to use up too much paint here. They're going to get, transparents get darker over themselves. So they get very dark right in there to the point where it could get so dark. So you see the outer fringe, that edge, that's a lighter color. That's the nice thing about the airbrush, that you can get different values as you go. But you can also go too far. If you look in the picture, the very bottom of the hat here has almost like a black shadow on the face. And I'll do that later, probably a very thin, just bounce it off the edge of the hat frisket. Okay, so knowing that I've got to get that darkness in here. Okay, I have cobalt blue, cerulean blue, I have burnt umber in the mixture, and a little bit of black. This is to gray it. The color. There's color in this very dark area. In other words, you can still see it's not black paint. So as I build over it, and I can always deepen it if it's not to what I like. I am going to kind of stay with the frisket here and keep it cleaned off a little bit so that I can kind of see where I'm at. All right. So there's where, it's not the color yet, but because there's a lot of blue in there, meaning the pretty blue, not the dark blacker blue, I have to kind of carefully build this color, So right now I'm going to work more towards working off the frisket, towards the bottom of the hat, paying attention to how it stays very light over here. So all I'm going to do is put a little mist on the edge. Okay. Whoops, I went a little bit onto the ear. This is not covered here, but nothing that an eraser can't take out. But I don't want that to continue to happen. Okay, so why that's not covered, I don't know. Maybe I was trying to do an edging or something. I don't know. I don't know why the piece is out, but anyway, I can just put a piece of post note on here. It's nice when you use the post note because when you go to pull that off, this is a sticky post note, the super stickies. It doesn't really, like tape pulls on the frisket. Okay, so let's just get a little more color in there and then I'll talk about the erasing part, which won't really be on the darkest part of this brim of this hat. It's getting very dark, like I want it to be. It'll get blackish, I can even add more if it's not going dark enough and it's still staying too blue, then I'll add more black to the color. All right, because I'd rather play it safe, and I don't want it to be black, but I do want the blue to be blackish. So the mixture's already good for what, like I showed you on the paper. You keep spraying it in the same spot over and over, it's transparent. It's going to get very dark. It's going to get super dark. Where if you mix a color that's opaque, like the other color that I have in here, I'll show you the color cup. This mixture, okay, which is the lighter color area of the hat there. All right, whoops, that's not stirred, but anyway. So when I spray that area in, this is opaque. It has white in it. Then I will, if I spray it 100%, it will not get any darker. But having said that, when I started the portrait the first time, I was working with opaques, and I will be working with the opaques with the hat. But with the flesh tones, like I said in the other video, I'm going to be working on that more on the sidelines, perfecting my skills. In the meantime, I went back to the traditional way I paint with the transparents, but correct graying mixtures of the paint, because in real life, flesh tone is very, everybody, you know, every portrait's a little different, but you could see all kinds of beautiful gray colors. When I mean gray, I mean it's grayed down. It's not a bright out of the bottle color. Okay, so in the meantime, let's get back to the hat here. Okay, the other eraser here, I'm sure some of you have seen it, and others that are newbies maybe haven't seen this. Okay, that's a electric battery powered, they have electric ones too. You know, Helix is the brand, and it's got the soft eraser in there right now. You can put the aggressive one in. This would be the white eraser. And you can shape that too. I've gone and used like sandpaper and formed the point, you know, to make it pointed or whatever, like more like that, you know, to get into little spots circular, because if you look here, you got a lot of fuzzies in the hat, you know. The electric eraser, I'm going to come at the edge here more and kind of bounce it back and forth off of the area to get more power than just trying to do it with the regular aggressive eraser. You know, the other one has the battery powered, so it makes a difference, but you can't pulverize the painting with it. You got to be very gentle. All right, so now I'm getting that black blue that I wanted. As you can see in here, it's starting to look more. Okay, so the edge, now that's the other thing I got to be careful of. Over here, the edge starts getting softer. So what I mean is no frisky kind of look. In the middle, it's going to be broken up anyway. So let me just get that frisket off there so that you could see. I'll leave that lighter. And again, I'm going to spray on the face more. So I'm kind of getting part of the film. Trying to get a really dark blue. There we go. It's getting very, very close to what I need to happen here. All right. Having the blue hat, excuse me, work on this here. Having the blue hat painted in, taking away all the white of the board, really helps you make better color choices, because surrounding colors affect colors. I'm studying color, and I will be to the rest of my days, but they do affect each other, and so it's a tricky thing. But I used this cutout window just to get it rough with my color wheel. I was just kind of trying to find, by sliding it on to the color wheel that I have over there on the other desk with color correct lighting over it. I kind of get a rough, like, you know, because it's a wonderful multicolored color wheel that you can purchase from Drew Blair, and I've got the one with the 5, so 5 color wheels of different values. It's really excellent. He sells it at his store at School of Realism. But anyway, it's over on my other desk, and I have a lighting on it, and I work off of it. And then I have the bigger one too. Anyway, let me get to the next stage here. So I'm going to put the strip back in. Good old frisket. Don't really like working with it, but all right, so it's over here. When I put the face, this is from the original time I painted the face, this piece over here. Okay, that I redrew it on there, so midge here and there, you know, as far as having it exactly why this one's still here. But lining up Frisket, it has to be really put on there dead on. You gotta cut it correctly, and you've got to put it back where it lives, or else the whole purpose of it is, you know, it's a waste of time. Because now I'm walking this, meaning it's kind of easy to go like that. So I'm just kind of making this fall back in its place. I'm trying to hit it on the edge of the flesh tone Frisket, the face Frisket there. All right, so that should be pretty good. There's a little gap there. I miscut right there, but I'm going to be breaking up the edge with the eraser, the electric eraser, and the handheld eraser. So I have it pre-cut. So you want to take out your section, and this is still going to be left in the top. I'm going to do my other hand here. All right, turn that up, man. Okay. All right, so we take that off. Whoops, I'm taking off the bottom one. So not what I wanted to do. So take that one off, get that out of the way, and realign this one. I still have the bottom piece where I'm hitting right there, so I can tell that I'm lining up good. All right, so that's protected now, and it's pretty much blue on blue. So, but an opaque will cover it. An opaque will actually cover that other. Let me just see something here. Something looks, cast a shadow there. I got to get the X-acto knife out, and I got to check something right here. It's off alignment, right at the end. I could see double, like a double vision there of. Okay, that's better. All right, so now I'm going to start laying in some another type of eraser. I love the soft erasers. You know, this is like a, you can make it come out, Stadler, I guess it's called. But anyway, it's nice to just be able to go in. I'm going to hold the actual phone from. Sometimes you put too much information in all your drawing, and it's like you really don't need like all these lines. Like, it gets to be a bit too much. I'd rather have too much information and erase it. And it's just a guide of where it's getting lighter and darker. And I even had some texture drawn in there, but I'm going to look at the reference and I'm going to mimic it the best I can with my eye looking at this as I go. So let me start to lay in the lighter color. Okay. Having the second airbrush is great because I'm going to the micron now. I mean, I have a lot of airbrush, but as far as my illustration guns, having the ability to go in and mix, you know, have two colors ready without having to clean the other thing, especially when you're making videos. Okay, so let's get this color going here. Now this is an opaque paint, and I'm going to treat this very like a transparent, like I was trying to spray it light. See, this is opaque. It will cover all pencil lines. That's going to go probably about that far. Now, how dark I want to make it right now, that's going to be just very carefully done, because I want to erase and start to pull out some highlights that are going to be in the actual hat, you know, the fuzzies and all that stuff. Now I erased that out. I'll zoom in for a minute here. Okay, so I erased it right here, but when you mist back over it, you kind of get the highlight you're looking for, which is right there. See, by having it second coated, you tint it. You kind of add color on top of that highlight, and then you have the lighter areas, the lighter blue. All right, so at this stage in the game, let's see, I'm going to go back to, I think Yeah, I think I'm going to put a little bit of this light color over here. It's really not, it's underneath, so the other color can just mix on top of it. And then the other is the original color. Now I'm just going to kind of blend them together. Again, spraying, you know, little by little with the transparents. You don't want to get too dark. I want to start to blend that in to the left, just a little bit, and then over this way. This mixture, I think, was cobalt blue, burnt umber, and a little black. Yeah, the dark. I think I already said that before. The other mixture, the light mixture, was the two blues, cerulean and a little bit of the cobalt, playing around with them. And then I started to work with, like I said, once I got the value, which was the lightness of the color, that's when I was able to, yeah, this is actually this color here. See, so I can just tint right over it. But I want to keep it light so I can do some erasing in there. So I'm going to just do this very in increments. Okay, so just going to bring that out this way a little bit. That's about it there. And we'll just leave that. Turn the air way down. Just going to put a few little textures, tip dry, a little texture in the hat there, here and there. I'm using the pump stroke right now. My finger's going real up and down like that, creating little tiny marks that are soft. They're almost like freckles, you know. They're not going to be a stencil. They're going to be a little bit of what I just did there, soft. And then I'll work around them. I gotta be careful getting too dark there. I'm going to take probably straight out of the bottle blue, cobalt, and tint this to get it to fire back up to a more saturated, pure color on top of the underneath color. Give it a more, you know, just try to mimic the colors that are there. All right, so let's go to the yeah, there's where misalignment is right there. Oh, that's really bad. But that's okay, because I'm going to take the light color and I'm going to just mist over, because I'm going to break up this edge, so I'm not worried about lining it up. Normally when I'm putting my frisket on, it's not on the board here. I could take the painting, say this was the painting, I could take it this way and turn it, tilt it, and see with the lighting where my lineup is. Unfortunately for me, I have one good eye and one bad eye. So that's making it harder at this stage in the game for me, as far as, that's just the way it is with my eye. I'm legally blind in one eye, and it's getting worse as I get older. Okay, so we're just going to kind of freehand that in right there. Okay. I don't want to get too dark there, but there's a little more shading right there, that other color. Okay. All right, so it's time. Yeah, and I even forgot my frisket wasn't on here, so let's just get into some little bits of... Now, the clayboard, I find, like I said on other videos, I find erasing the next day or a few hours later is a different kind of a look on the board, as far as the behavior of the paint biting into the clayboard. you know, some of the paints just, it fights you. So let's just take this, and this might be a little too harsh, and it might be, well, let's just try it. Let's just see what happens here. Yeah, it's definitely too bright right now. So I'm going to stick with this one. This works good when you have to get into breaking up a really, like down in here later on when it's dry, really dry, and I could start to use it. But I wanted to at least show it to you. But right now it's going right down to the board. When this paint is dry or on the clay board, it becomes more resilient, and then it starts to really, you need that electric eraser then. Okay, here we go. Zoom in a little more. It's tedious. I mean, you really literally have to go after it, you know, circular, and you have to kind of overlap and create. Yeah, the paint's a bit soft right now, but having said that, I'm going to try a small area, and then you have to take that and you have to take it over to your paper, which I have right next to it, copy paper, and start to clean it, get the paint off. So you get a little area going, and you get very, you don't go like 3 dots in a row like I'm starting to have happen here. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing the erasing after it dries. But I want to just try to do a little section there. So as you start to create the texture, let's zoom in a little bit more. You're going to take your original color, your light color, and you're going to knock it back down into the picture. Let's get really zoomed in for a minute. I want you to see the details. Hopefully the airbrush won't make that go out of focus. Let's see. So I'm going to just hint over, knocking the highlights back into the picture. Okay, so that you start to get that look. That it's a lot of work. I mean, you know, let me push the camera a little closer by hand. Okay, it's going to be time consuming to you know, get what I want here. So pull that back out. In the meantime, I am glad to have this color here and have myself, you know, something to block that white. All right. So cleaning up the frisket, take care of your frisket. You know, don't let layers and layers of paint build up on it, because it'll start to be no good for you. All right, at this point, I'm going to call the video because it usually kicks out at this point, 24 minutes or so. And I'll continue on and we'll go from there. We'll do some more flesh tones and stuff. Okay, I'll see you on the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.